Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Rita Adel. If you're tired of just guessing on those relative clause questions, you have definitely come to the right place. In the next few minutes, we are going to absolutely master the rules you need for your exam. So let's build up that confidence one step at a time. So let's start by looking at a classic tricky question, one that trips up so many students. You see a place, you think where, but is it always that simple? By the end of this session, I promise, you'll look at a question just like this and know exactly how to solve it.
Instantly.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the core four pronouns. Then we'll decode those tricky questions we just talked about. After that, we'll cover the all-important comma, run through some rapid-fire practice, and finish up by learning how to combine sentences to make your writing even better. Let's jump right in. Okay, let's dive in by reviewing our four most essential relative pronouns. I want you to think of these as your basic toolkit. Once you master them, you're on your way to answering any question correctly. First up is who. Now, this one's pretty straightforward. You use who when a person is the subject, the one doing the action. In our example, a good business person is the someone. And what do? They see opportunities. So person plus an action, that equals who. Next, we've got which. This is your go-to for pretty much any object, animal, or even a whole situation. The email, that's a thing, so we use which. You'll also see it used to refer to a whole idea. Like if you said, he arrived late, which annoyed everyone. And here we have where. This one seems easy enough, right? We use where when we are talking about a location, a city, a building, a room. In this sentence, something happened in Alexandria. My mother was born there. But, as we're about to see, there's a little trap you've got to watch out for. And finally, we have whose, and this one is all about possession. It just links the noun to something it owns. So in the example, we're not just talking about a man or a car, we're talking about the man's car. Whose shows you that relationship, that ownership. Okay, now that you've got the basics down, let's tackle one of the most common exam tropes there is. Knowing exactly when to use where and when to use which when you're talking about a place. Now, just look at this slide for a second. It's really interesting how one tiny little word at the end of the phrase completely changes the answer. In that first sentence, where is basically a shortcut for at the hotel. But in the second sentence, look, the word at is already there, so we can't use where. That would be like saying at the hotel. We just need a pronoun for the hotel, which is a thing, so we use which. So here's the secret. It's a simple three-step process. First, check if you're talking about a place. Second, scan the end of the clause for a preposition like in, at, or on. If there is no preposition, your answer is where. But if there is a preposition, your answer has to be which. Follow that every single time and you'll get it right. All right, you're doing great. Let's tackle another key area that can really change your grade, how commas can totally change the meaning of your sentence. This is all about what's essential information versus what's just extra info. And this example shows the difference perfectly. Without commas, the information who is 5 years younger than me is essential. It's defining which sister I'm talking about, which implies I have more than one. But with the commas, that information is just an extra detail. I'm saying I have a sister, and oh, by the way, she's 5 years younger. Commas are basically your signal for bonus info. You've learned the rules, you've seen the logic, now it's time for a quick practice round to make it all stick. I'll pop up a question, pause for a few seconds so you can think, and then we'll break down the answer. You ready? Have you found the keys you lost? The noun is keys, which is a thing. You could use which or that. But in defining clauses like this, when the pronoun is the object of the verb, you can actually just omit it completely. So the correct answer here is D. Just leave it blank. Question 2. Name the actor who plays Salah el-Din. Okay, we're talking about an actor, that's a person, and they are performing an action. That's a textbook case for who. The answer is D. Question 3. Agatha Christie was a writer whose books were translated. So what's the connection between the writer and the books? Well, the books belong to her. And for possession, we use whose. The correct answer is C. Question 4. A laboratory is a place where students do science experiments. Where is a place? So let's do our preposition check. Is there an in or at after the verb do? Nope, there isn't. So the correct answer is A, where. And our final practice question, the town in blank, I was born, has warm weather. Okay, we see town, which is a place, but look closely. The preposition in is right there, before the blank. And what's our rule?
If the preposition is present, either before or after, you cannot use where. You have to use which. The answer is D, the town in which I was born.
Okay, for our final section, let's look at how you can use these clauses to make your own writing more advanced, more impressive. This isn't just for getting multiple choice questions right. It's about improving how you communicate. You can easily combine simple ideas into one sophisticated sentence. First, you just find the common element. Here, it's the hotel. Then, you replace the second mention with the correct pronoun. Since in it refers to a place, we use where. And just like that, you get, this is the hotel where I always stay. It's so much more fluid and sounds way more advanced. So, the most important thing to take away from our session today is that you now have all the tools you need. You understand the core four, you know how to spot that preposition trap, and you know the real power of the comma. Don't doubt yourself, you're ready. I want to leave you with this quote from Mark Twain, because in grammar, getting it almost right just isn't good enough, is it? Mastering these small details, like knowing exactly when to use which instead of where, that's the difference. That's the lightning. So strive for that precision in your exam. You did fantastic work today. I want you to go into your exam with confidence. Good luck, and I really hope this explainer has helped you feel much more prepared. Now, let me know what you want to tackle next.